Live. We're recording live on twitch.tv/Dkayed. We have a top 64 $1,000 qualifier. The chat's lit. Everyone's lit. But you're not here for that. You're here for the new ban list. Holy crap. What is this ban list? Tier list update. Forbidden limited list. This is it. This is it. Now, what happened here? Start from the top. Brave Neos was previously unlimited, now limited to 2. Now, it's kind of worthless to talk about this without the other changes, so you know what? Let's open it up. This is what you want to see. The Neos Fusion, Keeper of Dragon Magic, and the Brave Neos package, all 3 have changed. We used to be unlimited, and the Neos Fusion and Keeper of Dragon Magic used to be limited to 2. So if you're new to Duel Links, then what does this mean? It's like a goodie bag. The goodie bag says semi-limited. The goodie bag says limited to 3. And if you stick your hand in, you can only pull 2 cards out, or only 3 cards if it's limited to 3. Which means with a Keeper of Dragon Magic being limited to 2 alongside the Neos Fusion, you could only play 1 of each. You can't play 2 and 2. Now you can't play 3 and 3. You could choose 3 and 0 of the other, or 2 and 1. This is going to be quite interesting. This is opening up Neos Fusion to be played in different deck types. This has been restricted along. If we look at the Neos Fusion, what kind of damage has it been doing? Look at this banned deck. You're not going to be able to play it with your Invoke deck, so that's going to be restricted right here. Invoker alongside the Invocation is restricted to 3, so you're not going to be able to play Keeper and Neos Fusion. I think that's a big hit right there. That pretty much stopped this deck. So this is a nerf for invoked Neos, but a buff for not playing invoked. This is a good thing if you're not playing invoked. So if you're not playing the invoked version, what does your deck look like? Then it could look like this. What the hell? Yeah, the Witchcrafters can now play Neos Fusion. The Neos Fusion was semi-limited, so you could not only play 1 alongside the Holiday, now you could play 3. Triple spell? What the heck? This looks quite nutty. Shout out to the Dkayed Duel Metacorp Discord for this idea. I think that Heroes did well in a no ban list tournament, and it looks something like this. Very good. This is an idea of how to play Heroes. Will this be the best way to play Heroes? It's a new way. And if it did well in a no ban list tournament, I think DLE had one and it did well. So there you go. Here's another version, which is pretty much the same thing. So what does this mean overall? Neos might become top tier, or a variation of it, or Heroes with it. That's kind of cool, because your semi-limited card that you bought from a structure deck was limited too, which means to get a 3rd copy, you spent money. You spent money to get the 3rd Neos Fusion, and they said you could not use it. That's ridiculous. Now, the Brave Neos being semi-limited, they know from their analytics that no one was using more than 2 anyway, so this is okay. If you bought the structure deck, bought with money for a 3rd Brave Neos, you are a special kind of duelist anyway. And we're going to move on to the rest of the ban list, because this is pretty much what you might see from it. Neos Fusion is back. Now, a big combo, a 4,000 damage lethal combo with this was quite broken. And that was with Lunalight. Lunalight's Crimson Fox. So it looks like that combo is back. You could play 1 Brave Neos, 1 Lunalight Fox, then you could play 2 Keeper of Dragon Magic and 1 Neos Fusion. So if you normal summon Keeper of Dragon Magic, search for Neos Fusion, send Fox from the deck to the grave. Fox will reduce a monster to 0 attack, and then you have lethal damage. Keeper plus Brave Neos, 4,000 damage after reducing a monster to 0. I guess they don't care about this combo being back in the game. Quite interesting. Moving on, let's see. Whoa! Dark Illusion. I spent good money on a card that you no longer can get. Gotcha. Illusion Magician. I had to spend money to get a 2nd and 3rd copy, even on the first one, and it's no longer in the game. You missed out. Too bad. You're bad. The Illusion Magic can be used with the Magician of Dark Illusion. If we look at the usage with this right now, what is this going to look like? Is this going to bring back Dark Magician? Probably not. This is what the deck looks like, and I don't think this deck just becomes better because we could play more Dark Illusion. I don't see it. They need to do something with the rod or the navigation. The Dark Illusion being removed off the ban list, just honestly not a big deal. I guess this version can now play double treacherous, but so what? But I will be excited to try out my illusion magic that I spent good money for. Next up, cybernetic fusion support. This does nothing because this was used in the broken version of Cyberstyle. Cyberstyle has been changed. So a deck like this just doesn't even exist from September 2021. This is essentially, we forgot to unlimit this card after changing the skill, which is just completely different now. If you remember this for summoning proto dragons onto the field, it does something completely different. I don't even care what it does now. It's trash. It's bad. Is anyone even using it? Maybe. Let's see. No one's been using it. No one. Absolutely no one. So this is nothing. Then we have Spellbook of Fate and Spellbook of Master. I think this is another situation of nothing. This is really nothing. The Spellbook of Fate and the Master are no longer on the list. I believe Fate was limited 3. Gia, I want them to parentheses on the Fate, previously 3, parentheses on the Master, previously 2. That's how we should do that. Otherwise, I got to go all the way to the Forbidden list here. Totally not cool. This Spellbook of Master was 2, now it's unlimited. Fate 3, now unlimited. Now Fate being to 3, that was nothing. That didn't do anything because that meant you couldn't play it with other cards that were limited to 3. And what else was limited to 3 that you wanted to play it with? I think just Cosmic Cyclone. So you could not play Spellbook of Fate at 3 in addition to playing a card like Cosmic Cyclone. It's not going to do much or anything. But the Spellbook of Master going to be unlimited, is that a big deal? I don't think so. I don't think they really cared. I guess in this deck, he had to play 1 Tretch, 1 Master. It's a slight change. It's a slight tap. It's not going to wholly make the Spellbook deck a lot more viable. We could look at what Spellbooks looked like when they were broken. If I go to the all-time analytics, and while that's loading, we can check out the reasoning for these limits. Why did they limit these cards? What is Konami's reasoning? Are they out of their freaking mind? Since the limit to Neos Fusion has been eased, this card will be limited instead. Okay. Although this is a very powerful card, we are easing its limitation as this card is now used less frequently. Yeah. This will be moved to limited 3 so that it cannot be played alongside Neos Fusion. It can, though. What? What do you mean, so it cannot? It can. Okay, good job, Konami. This card will be unlimited as its power level is acceptable. Yes, it is. This card is acceptable. All right, we just copy-pasted the same thing over and over. Quite lazy. All right, good job. And that will be all for this time. No thank you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't even thank us for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links anymore. Just, that will be all. Goodbye. Now, do the top decks load up? Let's see. Spellbook. Spellbooks. When were they banned? When were they super good? Of back in the day. Let's go to like page 18. Here you go. Here's what a banned version. This is when spellbooks are broken, and they're not going to go back to this. Not a big deal. Really, just not a big deal whatsoever. Overall, I'm quite disappointed in this ban list. I was expecting some sweeping, massive, bold, and brave changes to the game. I guess coming back to play some Neos Fusion variants, I definitely want to play Witchcraft or Neos Fusion. I'm excited for that. But otherwise, this does not change the game enough. And I'm not saying the game needs to be balanced. The game needs to be changed. We need change. Change, not balance. I want sweeping, unbalanced changes. Make the game imbalanced to make it crazy and fun and wacky. But all right, there you go. That's the end of the ban list prediction of the, actually, I didn't predict. I told you what the ban list is. Great. You tell me, do you like this? Is it underwhelming? I think so. Goodbye. I'm on twitch.tv/Dkayed if you're watching right now. Let's go.